Hey, what is up? I'm excited to come talk to you about the 3 things that you need to let go if you want to level up your life. And this is something that I talk a lot about in my mastermind. It's something that I talk a lot to my team about because the power of your thoughts and even your subconscious mind determine your actions and determine which way you move forward. So one of the first things that I'm going to give you permission to do is let go of those people or persons in your life that maybe are no longer serving you or your friendship. And I don't mean that people have to do things for you. What I mean is that we all have a friend that we feel loyal to, that maybe we've known for many, many years. Maybe we've worked together. Maybe we've gone through hard times. Maybe we've gone through a breakup. We all have that friend that shows up mostly grumpy, right? Most of the time they're grumpy. They are not a glass half full kind of person. They're always a glass is half empty, right? They're rarely in a good mood. They're always full of complaints. I have to be careful when I use the word always because them are fighting words, but they're full of complaints, right? They're kind of like an Eeyore in your life. I call them an energy vampire. Have you ever gone to coffee with a friend and they absolutely drain you and you leave and you're either sad for them, you're sad because they made you sad, or you're a little depressed on the inside because of the conversation, right? Have you ever left coffee from a friend like that, or dinner party or whatever? Sometimes you go to parties and you avoid these people, right? I'm giving you permission to let them go. I'm giving you permission to let them go because often we stay in these relationships for far too long because of our loyalty, because of who they were to us in that point in time. But people are here in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And most people are here for a season, right? But when you don't see eye to eye with people, or they aren't supportive of your current journeys, right? Or the things that you're excited about, there's always a negative that's put into place, like, oh, I could never do what you're doing, or I can't believe you're traveling right now, or, yeah, I'm just not even going to entertain that, right? They won't even, the conversation is always about them or never about you, and you never get feedback from them. It's okay to let these people go. And most people feel immense guilt for doing that and show up for these other humans because of their guilt. You should never show up for somebody else because you feel guilty or because you are putting their needs first. You have to put your own needs first, right? I now surround myself with people that are positive, motivated, that are constantly encouraging me to do better, dream bigger, create more, right? And so you have to start surrounding yourself with people that really want more out of life. And when you let other people go, I want to tell you something. It doesn't mean that you let them go and cast aside and you talk about how terrible these people are. It doesn't mean that at all. It means you bless and release. It means that you want the best for them, but they are no longer in alignment with where your life is going. Right? I used to have this friend, and I think when I turned 30, it changed everything, because when I turned 30, I was like, no more bullshit. I don't have to be friends with you anymore. I don't have to show up to these things. And I had this friend that I was constantly picking up from a bad relationship. I was constantly trying to cheer her up, and I was constantly trying to motivate her and encourage her. And it got to be so draining that I had to let it go, because you can't save anybody. You can save yourself and show them how you did it. You can be a great example. You can be a great example in your friendships, how to show up. You can be a great example in your relationships on how to build those. But you can't show or teach anybody how to do it. They have to be motivated to change those things in their lives. And by the way, you may come around full circle. And down the line, you might meet up with these people again, and maybe they've done some personal development. They've done some personal growth. They're now willing to see the other side, right? I remember when I first got into online business, I'd had so many people that were like, oh, I can never do that. Okay, well, look at what it's created for us. You may not be able to do it, or you may choose not to, or talk down about people that show up and are vulnerable and personable online and are doing business in a different way that you do. But you don't have to spend time with people that are constantly knocking your ideas, right? They'll also give you an out. Like I remember a friend saying, "Oh, I'm in finance, I'm in banking, or I work with a lawyer," and so their egos get involved. And instead of supporting you, they're focused on talking themselves out of why they can't, why they can't change the game for themselves, why they can't do something different, right? So I don't spend a lot of time with people that are constantly talking themselves out of opportunity and out of growth and out of good ideas. I spend a lot of time with people who are constantly brainstorming and moving forward, right? Absolutely, Wendy. You never trash people. You just bless and release, and hopefully you come around. And hopefully at some other point in time, you can serve them in a different way, right? And so when you meet people who are constantly choosing the path of least resistance, it gets them nowhere, right? You have to let them go because energy is absolutely everything. And again, you may find your way back, right? Maybe you can offer advice to people or try and help them move through their challenges. But I only do that once or twice. And when people don't take the advice that I'm offering, I stop giving it, right? Unsolicited advice is never welcome, and you cannot change a human being, so you have to let people go. So that's number one. Number two, you have to let go of your self-limiting beliefs. You have to let go of talking yourself out of things or saying you're not good enough or not strong enough or not smart enough or not pretty enough or not articulate enough, right? And instead of I could never do that, how could I do that? What if I could do that? You know, when I was raised, I never thought about how much money I could make. I thought about making enough money and finding a career that could pay my bills. But now in society, we need to learn how to get ahead, especially because things are changing so quickly. How we spend money, how we make money, it's all shifting. So what if you could learn? What if you could do? How would that look for you? Who would need to help you? Who could you gain support from? Those are the questions. You need to learn how to ask better questions instead of counting yourself out. So you have to let go of all the limiting beliefs. And by surrounding yourself with higher level people, that actually starts to happen because you no longer think of what is average anymore. You think of what is possible. Okay. And then the third thing that you need to let go of if you want to level up your life and do more and be more and achieve more and have more is you have to let go of other people's projections and their judgments because truly they're only a projection and a judgment from their experience, from their perspective, right? So when I first got into online business, I had a lot of people ask me when I was going to get a real job or when I was going to go back to doing hair, right? I had to put earplugs in and not care, right? I remember my dad, and I'll totally call him out on this. He said to me when we started making really good money, he said, you know, you don't need to work so hard. You don't need to do any more, right? Like if you focus on money and earning, you could ruin your relationship. He obviously does not have the same relationship that I have with my husband because we're in this together. We're a team, right? It's not mine and yours, it's ours. And so that was a projection of his belief system as somebody who grew up in society where the male provided for the family. But what kind of society is that, I would ask, when the dad or your husband is always gone and you never get to spend any time together, right? That wasn't the life that I wanted. And I was very clear about that in the beginning, that I didn't want a life where somebody built it for me and I just fit in. I wanted a life that I could build with somebody else together. And that's the conscious choice I made in the relationship that we have and the one that Ryan made too. And so you have to let go of other people's judgments, other people's opinions, other people's projections of you and follow your intuition and become a life learner and commit to growth and constantly be looking for the next right step. You don't need to have a big vision of your life. It's awesome to have an end game and know what you want. But what I can tell you over the past 10 years is that I could never have predicted where I am right now. I could never have predicted the life that we created. I had no idea how it was going to happen, but I knew what I wanted. I knew what my dreams were. I knew what my goals and aspirations were. I never could have told you how this was going to happen. But if you're open to growth, skill building, opportunity, networking, connecting with different people, having different conversations, looking for somebody that actually has a different opinion than you and learning the other side so that maybe you can be a better problem solver, when you open your life up to learning from mistakes or learning from past experience or learning from other people's experiences, all of a sudden, exponential growth happens. And yes, you may have to leave some people behind, but it doesn't mean forever, maybe just for now. You might have to get over some self-limiting beliefs and do some personal development to move through those things that challenge you. Maybe you need to seek a counselor or hypnosis. I had a really great interview, and I have a podcast up this week on hypnosis and how that could move you through some challenges, because a lot of people don't realize those self-limiting beliefs are showing up in many different aspects of their life, and they'll keep repeating the same mistake, the same bad relationship, the same glass ceiling at work, the same attitude. They'll keep repeating those things until they shed their past trauma and the things that have happened to them, or the belief system that was impressed upon them as they grew up. So now, the last thing that you're going to have to let go of is other people's judgments and projections, because none of those things matter when you're looking to level up your life, and you have to be conscious and intentional about where you spend your time, what you do, and who you talk to, because this determines everything. And what I learned a few weeks ago that blew my mind is only 5% of our conscious brain is making decisions. 95% of our subconscious brain is making the rest of the ideas that turn into action, that turn into decisions, that turn into the life that you create. The life that you have right now is based on a series of choices and decisions and habits that you have created. And those are all absolutely rewritable, right? We say everything is figure outable, but the truth is you may have to shed some people. You may have to shed pieces of yourself. You may have to shed pieces of your belief system and call in a team to help you do so you can move to the next level. So you can do what absolutely is on your heart, what is in alignment with who you are, so that you have the courage and the confidence and the bravery to do those things. But once you do, the world opens up to you, and opportunities that are far beyond your wildest dreams will show up in front of you. I never thought I would be a best-selling author. I never thought I'd have a podcast. I never thought that I would be able to make the kind of money that I make and be able to make money with my brain, with what I know up here that I can sell in a course, and I can help other people do what we did. Like I said in the beginning, you can't save people, but you can save yourself and show other people how you did it. And that is exactly how you level up your life. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please feel free to share with a friend. If you have any questions about how you could be leveling up your life right now, please feel free to reach out and let me help you move through the challenges or the confusion, because if I can give you some clarity, you'll start taking action today. Have an awesome afternoon. We'll see you soon.
If you think this video can help a friend, make sure you share it.